Hey there team, and welcome to a 4v4 on Silmarillion. Total War here. We have J-Monster, who luckily gave this one to me, as I had to be kicked right at the end of the game, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We've got the House of Fingolfin, which I've never personally played as yet, but J-Monster, of course, being in charge of the mod, hopefully has a pretty good grasp of them. He's got his Fjordsman of Doriath, who is, well, they're a masked unit. I think J-Monster said a few times how much he adores just putting masks on units, and I like it too. It does look really good. Yeah, you know, we've got some damn good faces, in all honesty, for you know, both Reforged and Silmarillion, but it's you know, it's good to have a masked unit too here and there. It's not like a lot of the other sort of other base games for Total War where you really do want a mask, because the facial expressions are just not so great and they're very repetitive. But over here he's got his Bladesman of Doriath and his sentries there, so some nice pikes, I believe. They do look like halberds. I couldn't say if they're pikes or halberds though, but they do look quite long for being halberds. Yeah, oh well. Then the Herdsman of Ithilien, nice armoured up archer there, the Marksman of Doriath. And my cat is just darting off my bed. He doesn't like me me chatting about this, but I cast my eyes over the army quickly, and I freaking adore these Marines. Yeah, they look gorgeous. Kind of quite similar. I talked about it before, how much I really like just the Linden helmets from a Forged, and you've kind of got the same feel with this little sort of horn on the front, but of course they've got that silver and dark blue colours, which, yeah, I adore. Then in front, kind of the same Bladesman mixed up with these pikes. Next to them, some more. Yeah, so he's got this good sort of long phalanx, which not many factions in Silmarillion can do. It's a very common thing to see for a lot of Reforged factions, but it's quite rare here. He's got some more of these spears, these masked spearmen with their amazing sort of curved spears there. Further back, got some calves. He's got some cavalry, not got some calves. He's got his lancers, and then some more of these herdsmen in the back. Am I seeing some elite units, or is he gone? Oh no, he's got these guys here. Yeah, some very sort of beefed up, armored men at arms. But is that it? Because he does look like he's gone for just quality throughout, rather than grabbing all of the elite units that he can, which, you know, playing as an elf is you know, often what you should do. To his right side, he has Inarius, playing as Ossiriand, a faction I do know a fair bit more about. So he's got the Spear Host of Rathloriel and his Earthen End Tower. Back here, the more Earthen End Tower, more and more. Yeah, you're always going to see that with the Green Elves, and it's a sensible choice, I think. Spear Host of Rathloriel mixed in with these two-handed spearmen, the Spear Host of Gelion. Yeah, seeing that, yeah, it makes me think that those guys are pikes. Of course, these guys are, you know, well, yeah, they're in phalanx formation there. So yeah, they're not armor piercing though. Then we have these macemen, the Merthin in Tolgalan. Very sort of solid unit as well, and not heavily armored, but nothing in the Green Elf roster is. And of course, as we would expect from the Green Elves, luckily we're allied to them, so we can actually sort of see where a few of these hidden units are. Got the Skirmishers of Rathloriel. Of course, something's put down these stakes. It's the Scouts of Gelion. Behind them, the Hunters of Rathloriel. Oh, more Scouts of Gelion. More Hunters somewhere, maybe. No, oh, yeah. Oh, Randirum in Tolgalan. So I believe that is the body piercing archer unit. One of the very few body piercing units we have in Silmarillion. And then taking up the right flank is Umad Commander. So he's got his Easterlings today. The Salamandrine Guard, two of them there. Behind them, nothing. Looks like they're out front by themselves. I love that it's quite an interesting thing that they can put down stakes. It's like a cavalry unit able to put down stakes is quite a weird idea. I was making a joke in the battle, because this was another time that we were all in the same Discord channel together. About, you know, this could be the fastest suicide unit ever. Just put down the stakes, run forward, run back. But yeah, then behind them we've got the Warband of Lothlan and some Wardens of Lothlan behind them. Then some Eastron Marauders. Looks like they're going to be throwing those little axes of theirs and then jumping in as a real sort of trash unit. The Catapult Crew, of course, commanded by the same warband of Lothlan, just to keep it a bit safer. And 61-man unit, it's nothing to be scoffed at really when you get in melee. Chieftain's Honor Guard there, the Halberdiers of Lothlan, Sons of Ulfang carrying that Falx of theirs. Falxes are just cool. I really, really like the Falx as a weapon. Eastron Horsemen, absolutely fragile to arrow fire. I suspect they probably got an armor value of like, what, 1? Maybe 0 even. And no shield, so they would get shredded by arrow fire. Warband there, and the Wardens of Lothlan. But still, large enough unit and pretty damn cheap, no doubt. So they would, they'll be able to dominate at range if they need to. Zooming on over here, we've got the last of J-Monster's allies, which is Eclipse, playing as Angband. So he's got the Ironshod Ravagers there with that armor upgrade. Pretty confident. Actually, maybe not. Yeah. No, I don't think so. We'll see some armor upgraded guys in a moment, I'm pretty sure. Guardians of the Iron Crown there. And then the Ironshod Halberds mixed in with the Spear Guard of the Iron Crown. So that is not a fun phalanx to break through. These guys may just be Halberdiers. So of course they don't have the range of pikes, but it's a very menacing, heavy front line of the Spear Guard. These are no trash baby orc fodder, you know, these are really sort of solid men. The Bulldogs of Angband, is that where he's got his general today? It is. Our Ironshod Arbalists even. Guardians of the Iron Crown, and lots of Guardians of the Iron Crown. So that's a lot of AP that he's bringing to bear. And then, of course, being an orc, he can bring a lot of troops. So he's got the Urloki, the Valukar, the Valorokar. Yeah, Balrog boys. And then we've got the Ironshod Ravagers, Arbalists, and more lots and lots of Legionnaires, with the Ironshod Halberdiers, and again the Spear Guard up front to keep them safe, or to keep rigidity in the line. So this is the first battle on Silmarillion where I'm actually going to be able to do it in version 2 shaders. So we are going to get nice and bloody. We do have our shadows yet. So this is, there are no armor upgrades, because these Legionnaires would be, you know, they look really cool with that armor upgrade, but they are not upgraded today. He's gone for the numbers approach. So this is the House of Finarfin. Decent armor all around, but nothing extremely heavy. So there's a lot of AP from the Angband forces today that might be getting overused. Well, they might be a bit overpowered today. Or not overpowered, it's overkill. That's the word I'm looking for. Marksman of Nargothrond there on the right. Then Swordsman of Talith Durnan. So being that smaller unit, that Javelin of theirs is AP, which will be very useful against the heavily armoured Angband forces. They are Quenny behind them. Swordsman of Talith Durnan, the large unit, they do have their little jabs, but it's not an armor-piercing jab. Still, it's a good quick bit of damage dealt right off the bat. Sartor on the left flank. I do always enjoy this. One elite unit on either flank of the formation. Then Swordsman and the armor-piercing. Yeah, Urukai's done. I quite enjoy this sort of, you know, one armor-piercing, a jab on the flanks, and then just sort of the bulk of the heavy damage in the middle. Bridge Wards, they're most certainly a pike unit, and yeah, you could definitely see that. Then the Wardens of Nargothrond mixing up with them. Very beefy front line. Jeepers, yeah, they would really sort of send back the waves of Angband if they slammed right into the center of that. Anything over here? Nope, that's me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he has gone for just combining his forces there. Got a few archers dotted there. Looks like that. Well, there's definitely some archers here that are hidden. They've just put down those stakes, but yeah, he's like, Finarfin definitely does benefit from having a nice organized fight, which all of these river passes it's going to make that a lot more difficult. I've decided to, you know, totally throw that out the window and split my force in half entirely. So I've got my Marksmen of Rhegion and my Rangers of the Girdle, one on either, well, yeah, two on either position here. Then Shield Bearers of Rhegion. Then my Donath, playing as Doriath today, which is my favourite faction, I would say, at this time, at the current time. There are some factions on the horizon that I think may dislodge them, but no, right now Doriath still holds it. Got my Warriors of Rhegion, nice armor-piercing strike from them. Axemen of the Girdle can throw their axes, then throw themselves into melee. Sword Host of Rhegion, In the back, I've got my Mounted Company of Regian. Nice, really, really good melee cav, actually. Quite expensive, but just solid. Certainly nothing on the 2 hit point tier, but damn good. Then my Axemen of the Girdle here, Sword Host of Regian. I'm jumping right off the bat, so we'll get into that soon. Warriors of Regian, Shield Bearers. Then my other elite unit, wanted to have an elite unit on each position. These are my archers. This is where I've got my general. Yeah, I like to have archer generals. I've talked about that a lot. It just feels good to me. Marksmen of Regian and the Rangers of the Girdle. So I do have the bulk of my forces here pushing up into the center. I could not resist this. I was chatting with Steward of Dale, and Stu suggested, like, right, so are we just going to take the center? And that is exactly what we wanted to do. So that's why the bulk of my forces are here. And this force is much more of a defensive force, just to stop Eclipse or J-Monster from rushing through here. I needed something to hold him back. Whereas this is my real army that I'll be focusing on. To the left, as I say, Steward Dale, we were communicating quite a lot during the deployment phase, so we both had a decent idea of what we both wanted to do. He's playing as the Elves of the Falas, so he's got his Rangers of Brithombar up there, then the Foresters behind them. Not heavy armor on these guys, and of course, lacking that shield. He's running them forward as quickly as he can, because he wants to get them into melee before they get shot to pieces. More spear hosts behind them. Some spear hosts behind them. They do have shields themselves, though. Marines of Brithombar. Then we do have some of the beefier guys, the warriors of Eglarest, and the nobles of Balar behind them too. Then Marines, the sort of, the Marines of Irondale. They are the sort of, what do we call them, legendary companies? Is that what we call them here? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Or the Regiment of Renown is sort of the more common viewpoint of them. Some more nobles, lots and lots more nobles and warriors. So yeah, another phalanx we're seeing here today. So that's good. All very sort of beefy. Then Steward of Dale does have a long area to control, as more and more spear hosts and marines. Marksmen of Balar there. The Marines of Eglarest. And, oh, this does look like an elite unit here. Oh yeah, oh god, I enjoy these guys. Very sort of Dol Amroth appearance to them, but we do have to remember Dol Amroth is, of course, elven heritage among their humans. So yeah, that's where it's coming from. Then the Scouts of Eglarest there on his far left flank. So he does have a good, but kind of like me, the bulk of his forces seem to be pushing up through the middle, whereas the rest seem to just be probably guarding his left flank. If we were to guard all the way through here, then that's just not something we can do. And Umad's already kind of blocked this up with his stakes, so we couldn't rush forward. Our last faction, and you're going to want all the stakes in the world to go up against Feanor. Captain Gervais playing as the most elite elves we have today. The Requeni there, and brand new horses too. I really like these guys. How do these ones look? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, for some reason, I love the elven aesthetic that kind of the silver helms in Warhammer get. You know, that's what I think of like a solid elven horseman. Even though silver helms are not like super heavy, I do just, you know, I don't like them being totally barded up, and I think that, yeah, with this sort of exposed back, the back legs being free, that feels more elven to me, even for such a heavy horseman. But yeah, anyway, continuing on, the Requeni there charging forward right off the bat, Hunters behind them, then the Mounted Company of Finarfin. I'm going to be focusing a lot on the Feanor Cav, because that was like just before this battle was when J-Monster sort of released a lot of these new Cavaliers. Of course, we do still have the levitating captain there, as would be, you know, necessary to intimidate the enemy. The Riders of the Pass there, they lack a levitating captain, unfortunately. And we do have some humans of our own to go toe-to-toe with the Easterlings, as the men of Hellevorn have come to the fight. We've got the Shield Bearers of Hellevorn, Rangers of Hellevorn there, Archers of Amrond, Footmen of Amras, the Otern, my Timo there, the Accursed, of course, yeah, you really would want them to the field, then Footmen of Amras, cool, so we got some armor upgraded, some without, so you can sort of see how they look, very cool. Then more Rangers, so not many humans actually. Shield Bearers of Hellevorn and Mounted Company of Finarfin. Yeah, really, Gervais has not gone too heavy on the humans. It's been much deeper into the elven infantrymen, which I approve of. I think it's solid, and we will finally get to this. I always tend to take a bit longer with my with my Silmarillion battles than, well, Silmarillion starters than I do with my other ones. But yeah, that's just because I like to look through them. I really don't know as much about it. I'm going to go for 0.7, at least for the start, just because so much happens in a 2v2, not a 2v2, in a 4v4 that you need to do this. Why the hell is the rain just coming straight away? I just talked about all these shadows and stuff, and I wanted to see it glistening off these guys, but no, it's not happening. The weather has just damned that, I'm afraid. Anyway, Rangers for Stu have just come hurtling forward right off the bat to try and claim this territory. I'm coming in from this side. I'm actually... Oh, damn, I'm slowing down. I just kind of lurch forward, and I guess I'm just unloading my Rangers. I kind of wanted to just get some shots straight into the sentries of Hithlin. And I got a few of them, but then he does get his shield in front of them once again. So, didn't actually deal as much damage as I was wanting. But yes, still no pressure over here, but preferably I won't actually have to fight with these guys over here. I do stop them firing momentarily. Right now they're just kind of unloading willy-nilly. And I even sent off a... Oh yeah, I sent my Rangers over to get a side shot on these guys too. Just trying to look quickly over the opening moves, and then I will focus in on stuff. Looks like Uruk-hai, he has split his forces up to block up these two access ways, which is important. And it does make my little sort of fragile defense a little bit outmatched. Scouts of Eglarest poking their heads up a little bit too close maybe and getting chased on back. Spearhost of Brythombar going toe-to-toe with the Bladesmen. Swords are always going to beat spears unless, you know, you're talking a real quality disparity there. I'm just going to have to... I'm hopefully going to look for a better... Well, a more intense screenshot soon, but just in case I just forget entirely. Once the sentries get pushed up into that, that's going to get very messy. But J-Monster doesn't want to... he doesn't want to get caught around the sides. He is pretty outnumbered here at this time, as he's facing off against a large portion of Stu's army, and I'm coming in too. This is probably where I should have come in a bit harder, in all honesty, because Stu is really hitting him good, and I need to be following that up as well. The Green Elves are just on the flanks, though, and they are pouring shots into these warriors. The Outriders actually coming in for a slam to it against these swordsmen, which is not too fun. Do we have a clash between the Easterlings and Feanor yet? Not just yet. Looks like Umad has blocked up all of his access ways, but with a more fragile, just warband line. He does have most of his forces in reserve to throw them on in there, depending on where the Feanor forces want to actually attack. The scouts came on through here, but going toe-to-toe with the Outriders is not going to be very fun for them. Actually, they're butchering that. Yep, nope, sorry, I don't know much about the Scouts of Eglarest. Oh wait, no, they're losing now. I don't know if they have an anti-cavalry bonus or not. Blade Masters coming on in to provide a little bit more rigidity to this line, as Stu really hits hard now. So I've got my Axemen. I tried to get my Axemen in where they could actually use their ammunition. And, yeah, start getting them right up close here, seeing if I can get a volley in through that way. Let's go to 0.6 for a minute, because we're getting a little bit of stuttering. But I've come flying on in now with my main chunk, and we're getting some good damage done on J-Monster. He is unloading shots on us, even the horsemen of the Far East are coming over here. And but I'm not, even though I'm a wood elf, I'm not a green elf. I do wear some armor, and as long as I've got them shooting at me from the front, my shield should shrug off a lot of that damage. Still, it's going to help them out, and these jabs are no joke as they come on into me. So that will definitely hurt. I've got my Rangers of the Girdle there opening fire into these Marines. Shooting them in the back is great, but having that little shield is going to really help. So I do still have this force there assisting. Poison arrows, of course, damaging the morale, but I'm not going to be breaking those elves unless I have them in melee. Still a little bit of a skirmish fight back and forth between J-Monster and I, as he's got his marksman of Barad Ithil, and I've got my marksman off Rigian, but it's very clear that we're just staring each other down right now. Neither of us really wanting to make a push there. I certainly don't want to. I don't like pushing on multiple fronts at once. That's something you'll definitely be able to see from my playstyle. Armor-piercing jabs from these swordsmen coming cracking on into the right side of these Guardians and Halberdiers. So right side, always where you want to be throwing your jabs, always where you want to be shooting, because then you're not hitting those shields of your enemy. And smashing them on in with these Wardens of Nargothrond. Good, everything else is coming in after now. And he's sort of bottling him up but it really is relying on his throwing weapons and hopefully soon archers or something like that just to really hurt him. He's not been able to secure this entrance properly though, and has had to kind of settle for just defending here, which does leave the very swift monsters an access route around here. Jeepers sake, Gervais is coming all... I really like this. Gervais has sent units all the way over here to help us out. It's always something you should do if your units, your special units are just not going to be usable in your area. Just get them out. Just use them somewhere else. But Eclipse, just with his heavy numbers, he can come over here and he can send these units all the way around and start flanking the back of Uruk-hai's forces. While his front line is... Ooh, how is his front line really holding? Victory is certain. Good, okay. It is going to be largely down to the fact that we do have these bridge wards here, just outranging the halberds. That's usually where Angband can have a really good grind up against most elven factions, just because it can trust on outranging their units with their halberds. But when you have the bridge wards that can just say, no sir, I'm not going to let you do that, and outrange them right on back. Sorry about that, like just grabbing some more screenshots. I sent over my axemen there, just because this is really where the enemy's jumbled up a bit. And of course he sent these halberdiers on in. I want to smash them if I can. And I've actually got my Doriath in there too. I'm hoping that if we can do some good damage to these orcs, maybe cause a quick rout, then that just frees up Uruk-hai to come over and assist us elsewhere. The clash is really it's in full swing now, as I've got my sword host of Regian going toe-to-toe with his bladesmen. Now, I need to look at the stats of those bladesmen. They seem to just be getting outmatched in a lot of places, but the sword host of Regian are certainly not too bad. They heard me say that, and they pushed it down to a balanced fight for a minute. But no, it's back now. So those marines they've still got their jabs. I'm exposing my right side here very perfectly, so that if there was a ranged unit that could be sent over there, I'd like to think I would try to counter-fire with my rangers, with my marksmen, as I have done here, and I have dealt a good bit of damage, but he's still made it away with a lot of his marines. Eastron horse archers still just coming into us, yeah, just firing away at the lighter armored. Oh dear, those rangers are dropping like flies to that fire. Certainly what you want, a lower damage arrow up against these lighter armored units. As it's still just a very stubborn holdout. I sent over my armor piercing units here, just trying to help smash through them. But poor Stu is just taking so much ranged fire from the green elves, and oh god, and also a lot of Easterling forces now too. Yeah, I got my axemen around here, but they get slammed in the back. I wanted to get them lined up here so that I could just throw my jabs off into the sentries, into whatever I really could. Oh, the herdsmen actually take out these big old axes, kind of like the I'll find one of them. I should know what they're called because I quite like them. I stated that right at the start. Nope, they're somewhere. But Erfin in Tower. That's what they're called. So yeah, so I turned around, had to sort of bash them away, but I was quite upset to lose these axemen because you really benefit from using these axemen in melee afterward. You know, they're not just good for throwing their axes. A bit of a break here. Stu's really been pouring all of his forces into the main attack there. That and you know, that's caused this area to be pretty empty. Actually, it looks like Stu charged out for an attack. Oh, damn. That's maybe not the best idea. Well, this is just the reason I like to only attack on one front. If you do have the micro ability and you do have the army build to pull off an attack on multiple fronts, it can work really well. Is that rain in the background? Yeah, oh, it's raining today. Oh, nice. Cool. It's been a while since I had sort of like nice chunky rain. And it sort of matches the battle, I suppose. The shield bearers are doing really well up against the warband, but you would expect them to, backed up by the footmen of Amras, who will be butchering their way through the warband. Warband, of course, being spearmen, they've got that additional defensive ability. They do have a good little chunk of armor on them, so they'll hold out for a while, but they're not going to be killing many of the footmen of Amras. Oh, shoot, what's actually... I think it's that just the wardens? What has caused them to have that sudden defeat is certain. I don't know. Yeah, I could not say. So hopefully the rain won't come through too clearly. I do have my mic... you know, it's really got to be quite a loud noise for my mic to pick it up, but probably while I'm talking, it's going to be picking it up as well. That's most likely. Anyway, yeah, Gervais is doing this thing. So Gervais is going to be microing his cavalry left, right, and center right now. So I do not blame him at all for not pushing in multiple avenues. I've got my mounted company of Regian. Good. I was hoping to catch this. So they don't have a great charge on them. They are primarily sort of melee cav, but you know, you can always charge. And I just wanted to come in here for a quick slam just to hurt one of these Balrogs. I was lucky enough to take one down, and you can see my position there. Threw a bunch of axes actually at one. Yeah, I just threw a bunch of axes right into somebody's face as well. Good armor value on these guys too, so axes are not going to be too great, but I just felt, yeah, we need to take them down. So I was lucky to get out of there without losing a single cavalier. I say that. Ah, damn, did lose one. But still, could have been a lot worse. And now those Balrogs are jumping right into the back lines of this bulging front line. You can see on the mini-map how much of a struggle that was. And yeah, they push through here too. A lot of the burning monsters just tearing lumps out of these forces. So yeah, Swordsman of Talath Dernan, and it does look like our right flank is going to be shattering, but he's made the orcs pay for it, as we're at 30. Ooh, yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, we have made the orcs pay for that. Sentries of Hithlum have now come toe-to-toe with me, and they are outranging my forces, but luckily just relying on that elven defensive skill, we're doing okay. I don't have any more range units to be hammering at them, so I am just... yeah, no more range. My rangers are coming on in, but I cannot allow J-Monster to get another avenue in to attack. Maybe I tried to flank around with my marksman, but he countered me with his bladesman. Damn, yes, so slowly but surely those phalanx fighters are going to be mincing their way through my shield bearers. Saying that, actually, I do have some marksmen of Regian there that are trying to apply some aid to that front line. Yeah, I've got my mounted company back around here now because the Salamandrine have slipped all the way around, and they're going to get one good charge on my back here. The Rangers there, yeah, aye. Not too fun at all. But the mounted company have their number, and they're going to be coming on in to try and solve that. Really is quite it's an even front line, really, along that position. But the nobles are there, and they are breaking their way through these herdsmen. And more herdsmen trying to stop our push. We managed to grab some of these Eastron horsemen, just with our axemen of the girdle. But yeah, the green elves are slamming their way on through. What is going on? Oh, yeah. So now Anarius does have that open passageway. He can just come on around the back lines. Some Marines trying to support the forces here as best they can. Now, just with the overwhelming numbers of the East, the footmen of Amras are really struggling. And a few elves, a few armor-piercing elves mixed into the fray as well will definitely turn the tide for them. Those shield bearers of Helivord wavering there at 85. You really do hope they'll stay for a bit longer than that, and I'm sure they will, but they need something to stabilize their morale for a minute, because once they break, then it'll just be the Rangers holding the line, and then they can just flank around and devour the poor footmen of Amras from the back. Riders of the Pass opening up here. Yeah, it looks like they have dealt some good kills up against those axe throwers. Behind them, the Autern look like they're off to go and support this line, which is going much better. Oh, dearie me. That looks like it was a catapult shot that just went very bad for the Easterlings. It could have been a lot worse. Could have hit sort of right in the bulk of their formation. Yeah, that's such a shame because of how thin Umad's formation there, and it just so happens to perfectly, you know, slam a friendly fire hit. We do have another shot coming in now, though. Yeah, going for the Rangers is probably a good target. You'd want that, or you'd want the mounted company, in all honesty. Would I go for the mounted company? I don't know. I just think the larger hitbox, I guess they're spread out. Hard to say. Still, connecting there, the Rangers. Gervais has seen that he's getting catapult shots fired at him, so he might as well get into the fight. That was... It looked like it was friendly fire, but, you know, as I say, it's such a thin line of Easterlings that was actually a good shot for the catapult. That sounded very good too, as those Rangers are burning now. Over here, yeah, this front line is really fragile. Those shield bearers are still in the fight. They've been wavering all the way down to 61 now, so I'm surprised they haven't broken. You know, that you would usually expect their morale to have settled. the spear host setting up here just to stop a few cavaliers from running on through, opportunistic as they may be. My general's dropped there. I tried to sort of get him around to... oh, sorry, that's not my general. That was... yeah, I forgot I'm watching this from J-Monster's army. Yeah, he was surrounded by Doriath men. I was like, oh, what the... You know, okay. But my general is over here. I've only got 5 men left in the unit, so he's not going to last too much longer. Where is he? I'm not seeing him. Well, that's his unit. And tried to come around the flank there. Oh, nice, okay. Oh, that's the Herdsman of Hithlum, and so that is just the captain model for them. Very cool. Anything else? Yeah, the right flank of this push is starting to loosen out, as there's just been this extended fight between the Salamandrine Guard and my mounted company of Region. Got them backed up by a few marksmen of Region just to slice through this force, but I really could do with my cavalry being mobile. Even though they are melee cavalry, as I say, I could just get some good rear charging going on here. Yeah, and we just don't have a good counter to the sentries. J-Monster really bled out my my ranged units. We're dealing some kills to him. The Bladesmen have been suffering. A few of these pikemen have died, and of course the Bladesmen of Barad. Oh, all right. Interesting, interesting. So they're the Bladesmen of Barad Ithil, and those are the Bladesmen of Barad Ithil too. Ooh, I don't know, I'm confused. Anyway, then Marksmen of Nargothrond here, trying to hold back some Marines that have slipped on through out of ammunition, but yeah, that sort of numbers advantage definitely can be going in favour of the Marines. A few scraps still remaining, my Axemen over here, and I think I might have a few of my elite Macemen. Yeah, you can see I've still got 10 of my Doriath, so they have been quite stubborn over here, just cracking their way through heaps and heaps of Angband forces. Swordsmen of Tal of Dernan doing their best, and yeah, but it's just the numbers that are remaining here now, and Angband is overpowering us. He's got some good burning damage going into my back lines now, and as I say, my armor will resist a bit of that damage, but I'm not the most armored faction that you'll find, so I will be dying pretty badly to this fire, and that will be the end of that defensive position. We still got, yeah, marksman there. Mounted Company Region down to 14, but as they've been fighting, the front line has almost entirely collapsed. J-Monster's coming running on through with his marksman of Barad Ithil, and yeah, so that's got me running with my mounted company. The Salamandrine Guard are not totally dead, actually. Yeah, oh yeah, because I remember it was a bit of a race for me to get out of there, and I wanted to make sure every single Salamandrine Guard was dead before I pulled out my cav. But yeah, the marksmen of Region there now going toe-to-toe with the marksmen of Barad Ithil, but once again, outnumbered as they are, it's going to be rough, even though they are sort of two-handed swordsmen up against one-handed swordsmen. So I've got my mounted company over here now, and I'm just looking for a good place to do a bit of charging. The Uraloki slamming their way through my forces. Yeah, it's a bit messy. Here's the far left flank going. Salamandrine Guard with their fire arrows going toe-to-toe with the mounted company of Curafin. The mounted company of Curafin get in within a javelin throwing range. That could be a very different story, but no, they've got to stay out of that for now. Hunters of Rathloriel flanking around the Accursed. The Accursed will split their way on through that force, but they're sort of getting broken through here, there, and everywhere, and there is sort of this crescent. Oh, I really like that. In the, you know, in the way that it looks in the mini-map when they do the Cantabrian Circle. Might be mispronouncing that, but yeah, that looks really nice. I've never seen that in the mini-map before. You just don't really see it get used all that much as the Riders of the Pass open up into the Scouts of Gillian. Scouts of Gillian, definitely not the best skirmishing unit in the game. No shield, no, well, yeah, very poor armor. Catapult crew leaving their catapult behind now. How's this push been going? The catapult has been punishing it, but it's always been a little low on numbers. Eastron Marauders pulling back. Alright, maybe not pulling back, maybe just setting themselves up properly and then charging on in. They'll just be slowing down the Ottern though. But maybe that's all that is needed right now. Just keep this force together so that when this all dissolves, you can maybe push around and backstab them. Be a lot better than letting them push through and taking a position. Say running up here to this little hilltop, it's something, or even just having the freedom to maybe, this is a long way to run back. They wouldn't be able to run all that way back. Definitely not. This push on the centre, it looks like J-Monster has been victorious, unfortunately. They've claimed the central statue. My general's still alive somewhere amongst this. We've not had the notice that he's died. So he should be right in the middle. I hear fighting noises, but I don't see him. Perhaps he's migrated. Nope, there he is. He's going toe-to-toe with some of these spear hosts. He's wavering. He's the only man left in his unit, but he should just be able to slice through a few more of these wood elves before he goes down. Yeah, because they're not really focusing on him. They're just kind of ignoring him, which sometimes is what you need to do. Oh, damn, the Sons of Ulfang have noticed him. I think they're coming on in. Definitely a unit that is going to be able to get through him. Unless they're running straight on past. Umad, come on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good, Matt. Nope. Nope. No, you don't need to. Oh, fuck. Oh, this guy was just coming in to finish them all. It's probably a lot more comfortable. Not that dying is very comfortable at all. It's probably a lot better to be killed by a spear host of Rathloriel rather than a Son of Ulfang, in all honesty. So he probably made that choice for his own benefit. What about fire arrow damage coming in there? Where the hell did that come from? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, he's got one marksman of Nargothrond left. So he's just been opening up with him just at the bulk of these forces. You got to appreciate the hustle, really. You know, heavily armored Angband forces, definitely with these sturdy-ass shields. But, you know, one or two more kills is always beneficial. A few more dead orcs, nobody can complain about that. Sentries of Hithlum. I think I'm just about gone, am I? I don't see anything left on the field that's mine. Maybe a few cavalrymen, but I doubt it. No, over here. Oh, no. Yeah, I think we saw the mounted company of Regian. I sent my cav over here just to try and grab the Salamandrine Guard and assist the riders of the pass. That was my... Oh, mounted company of Curfin. Yeah, no, I just came over here to try and support them. That was my last act. But, yeah, this one final man here, entirely surrounded by Salamandrine Guard. Not really the place you want to be as an elven horseman. Hey, we're getting shots fired into us. Sentries of Gellion might be trying to shoot him, getting friendly fire. That's always nice to see. And yeah, the Outriders coming on in now. Jeepers sake. Man's doing his very best. I was really impressed with this unit. Like, they are expensive though. They are definitely worth it. And Archers of Amrond. There he goes. He's down now. That must be the last unit, like. We didn't get... The announcer didn't say anything about, like, the enemy... There we go. There we go. I was looking for that. Let's go to 1 times speed again, because we probably should have gone to 1 times speed a little bit earlier, but it's only a 15th out. Well, I think that's it over. There's some shenanigans that occurs that sort of extends it, but we'll probably just focus on here, and I'll probably go to 2 times speed. So that was really a lot of fun. I adored that battle. I love battlefields. I love battle maps where you're forced to, well, where you're forced to fight together. You know, like that center. That was cool. You know, I definitely enjoyed that, even though we didn't win in the end. You know, there was me, Stuart Adale, there was J-Monster, there was a few of Umad's forces, there were the Green Elves there. You know, it was such a big mix. And that's, yeah, those battlefields where you're forced to do that. Like, I've got a really nice battle. It was the first battle I recorded with my new mic, and it was on Lake Evandon, where the entire, like, all 4 armies are forced together to just fight as one blob along the banks of the, well, it's not the banks of the lake, no, on the side of the lake anyway. And you know, that was a really fun scrap. So oh, Blade Masters, not Blade Men. Oh, whoopsie daisies, yeah. That was what was confusing me. What's this one unit that Feanor stuck on? Oh my god. Yeah, you don't want to be him no matter who he is. Oh, there's a few forces left over here. Trying to sort of push on through just to rack up a few more kills. 29 my Timo, and still 13 Roqueni. So if we did have a bit more of a solid base, 13 Roqueni could really mess people up. Sentries of Gellion over here. I guess he doesn't want to charge them too much. He's got his mounted company over there. Oh well. Coming for a charge, let's see. Oh, into the Erfin. Oh, they get absolutely demolished here, don't they? Well, it wasn't as terrible, but pretty rough, but yeah. Good few of them did die there, actually. Erfin and Tower, they do not like to be attacked. You know, charging them, whatever, you really, they don't like that at all. So yeah. Where was I? Yeah, so maps, we have to do that, and also everybody involved here was a pretty skilled player, which is always fun to play with guys that really do know what they're doing. Not that I want to ever scare away people from playing the game. Definitely, you know, jump in even if you have no idea what you're doing. We do get a lot of guys that have never played a Total War game before. They just sort of see one of the videos and they're like, yeah, okay, I want to jump into this. I like Lord of the Rings, and they do all right. That's my phone making a noise, and I do need to check it, but we are pretty close to the end, so I'm sure they can wait. Then, what do we have? Yeah, so it's just the last of the Noldor over there fighting. So we'll probably zoom in on this final man. Oh, where is he? He's running up there. He does sort of nestle himself, and this is the last fighter that we've got. What's a nice position? I think that's probably the good position for this. So yeah, that's generally the whole shtick about it. Fun map, good players to go with, and playing as Doriath, who, as I say, playstyle wise, Doriath is definitely my most enjoyable faction. If I had to jump into a tournament, I would be wanting to play as Doriath. Ossiriand is a hell of a lot of fun to play as, but yeah, I'm not bad with Ossiriand. And right now, I think the talk is that like Ossiriand is the most powerful faction, and we're trying to find ways to change that. But yeah, it's so Ossiriand is always a lot of fun, but I just find their ability to like not hold the line too much. Phone's going again. Is kind of what I worry about. By hold the line, I mean take fire, really, not hold the line. But yeah. As for, so I lost connection, but I did grab a screenshot, so that'll be in the comments and description. I'll probably put it in both, but yeah, it'll be in there if anybody wants to see what my army's kills were. I looked through them and I thought about putting it in. I think he does drop one of these guys, doesn't he? Maybe. Yeah, because he doesn't. Yeah, he survives that charge. So yeah, it was. Yeah, I had looked through them and I thought about like uploading it to Imgur and then just going through it during the video, but I was like, nah, there's no. Yeah, he does take out one of them. Might tear out two even. Damn, poor boy. But yeah, poor man, I should say. He's very brave. But yeah, then I decided, nah, let's just put it in the description. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's thunder. It's, whoa. Holy smokes. Oh. Ah. Oh. We don't get thunder here too much. That's nice. That was really close. Oh. What the hell was that? Oh. Spooky stuff. That's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Cool. Anyway, yeah. Let's look at J Monster's stuff. Then, so he's got his Armatar. These were the sort of armored up men at arms that we saw. A Bard of Thale. Probably targeting a more experienced unit, I'd expect. That's where the general was. And yeah, you can see his army there was pretty much just quality throughout. And numbers too. We'll see at the end actually how much, well actually I'll have a look back momentarily. Bladesmen did really not, Blade Masters did really well. Then Marksmen, yes, good. Oh, they were quite, they didn't fight too much, that's why. And yeah, the Lancers, no, too bad. The sentries, actually, that's interesting. The sentries didn't actually rack up that many kills. But they just provided this sort of rigidity there. The Bladesmen did really way better than I thought they did. Good for them. Holy smokes. Anyway, so, yeah, you can see J Monster did have quite a lot of boys on the field. In comparison to a lot of the other elves, even Jeebers, Umad. But Umad had like Salamandering Guard. He had a lot of elite units. He had he had his Sons of Ulfang and his Chieftain's Chieftain's Bodyguard or Vanguard. I can't quite remember what they're called. So yeah, both of those were on display there. So that's why, of course, the largest army being Eclipse. And the Green Elves can bring Jeebers. The Green Elves can take quite a lot of numbers too, in all honesty. Then we've got Gervais' smallest army, but that's to be expected from Feanor. I've not got a very big army. I went pretty good quality throughout. So that was why. Then, yeah, Good, good, good. And J Monster really needed those numbers because he was holding back quite a lot of us. You know, he was holding back. He was getting range support, but generally it was his units on the front line up against myself and Stu. So that was why. You know, that was why he was able to keep us back. Had he gone for an elite unit, he would have had to get rid of some more, left some gaps, and we could have burst our way through. But yeah, so that was great. So as I say, my stuff will be in the comments, and I will see you later.